Hey, one of the things I want to ask you about, because you're probably a little bit more on the inside or have more sources than I have. I thought that the word on the street that maybe WrestleMania 34 was going to be Brock's last show, and all of a sudden he goes to Saudi Arabia and he's working Roman Reigns in a cage. And now I guess he's still with the company. Now, did Brock resign, or is he going to go to the MMA? Do you know what he's going to do?
He did resign. He did resign, and I think he is going to MMA.
Oh, so he's going to do both.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Now, that was not an official statement. WWE Hall of Famer Jim Ross reported, that's bullshit. I ain't reporting nothing. I'm saying that the word on the street, which you know how that goes, Steve.
Yes.
It could be spot on or it could be absolutely horse manure. But the word I heard, he signed a contract extension length, I don't know. I've heard some say short-term extension. I've heard some say it's a normal what you'd expect extension. I don't know, and I don't care because it's none of my business. But I think he's still WWE, and I think he's going to, the UFC needs him really bad right now. I know some of the MMA people that would like your show, and I'm sure a lot of them do, probably, are distressed now that I mentioned that. But, the climate in the UFC right now is not really overly healthy, even though they're making a profit. The business we know from a talent standpoint, they're short of star power. And unless it's a major fight, sometimes they're not going to get your money on pay-per-view just because it's a UFC. They used to if they had more depth on top and they have more, name main events, sometimes too. So Lesnar will pop a big number for them that they need for their bottom line. If he wins, they get another one out of him. If he loses and it's close, then they'll get a second one probably. So I'm sure he's win or lose in this debut back. They probably got 2 fights planned for him. And there may be this kind of booking. And maybe they're feeding him to somebody. I don't have any idea, man. I know that sounds awful weak to say Brock Lesnar get fed to somebody, but the sense I'm making of that and the way I mean it is being put as somebody that's a higher level in that heavyweight division that, perceived that as such to get that guy a good win. Because the bottom line of it is we both know whoever beats Lesnar is going to get a good win. Would you agree?
Well, yeah. If you can beat Brock Lesnar and put that notch on your gun, I mean that's a hell of a damn win. And the thing about Brock is what I like about Brock. Well, he's a very good friend of mine first and foremost. But man, when he shows up, or if they announce that he's going to fight somebody, I'm immediately interested.
Me too.
And, I guess I've known Brock for a long time, but I mean, even if I didn't, because I'm a MMA fan and I'm a pro wrestling fan, he's just one of those guys. And, I think, you would agree because you were watching him way back in the day when he first came in the company, probably before he got in the company, but.
Oh, yeah. I was going to tell you the story there, Steve. Me and Briscoe started recruiting. Jerry Briscoe was instrumental in getting him signed because Brock's college wrestling coach, Jay Robinson, was a teammate of Jerry Briscoe's at Oklahoma State when they wrestled for the Cowpokes out there. So they'd known each other their entire adult lives. So I saw somebody send me something on Brock, and we started, and Jerry was already on it, and so nonetheless, we made a contact there, and we could have signed him. He was willing to sign with us for what we had on the table after his junior year. He did not win the NCAA Division I title his junior year. He won his senior year. But the senior year came about because we made a deal with the coach that we would not make him an offer for him to leave school a year early because they felt very strongly that if he came back, he'd win a national championship, and he did. And as I thought was my mindset was signing a national champion has more credence than signing a guy that didn't wrestle for the national title, didn't wrestle his senior year. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Having, this guy's a former NCAA champion, that's got a little sizzle to it. It's real. Feel that, So, but I think he's a big star, man. He's in a phenomenal position. He has leveraged and earned and worked his ass off, Steve. He's got to be. The 7-figure numbers are just popping out like crazy here, there, and yon. Because he's got to be doing very well. So I'm very happy. I'm proud of his business acumen, quite frankly. And I know he's got good people around him, obviously, but at the end of the day, he's the boss. he makes a final. So, and I'm proud of what he's doing, you know, and more power to him. And you know something else? This Andre movie came out, right? So everybody's talking about Andre for a while, and I think Andre was a part-time wrestler. He wrestled in a lot of territories for a week here and a week there. He came to Mid-South twice a year. That's it. For a week. So he wasn't on TV all the time. If people act like Lesnar's not on television, it's a cardinal sin. I don't get that. He's smart. He's not going to sit on the shelf too long. He's going to extend his shelf life, which he's doing. I think it's brilliant. If I was a guy and I signed to come back to WWE, I would say I want a limited schedule. I don't want to be overexposed. I'll work, you know, whatever. But there's ways to do that to protect yourself. Look, Chris Jericho's a good example. He never leaves long enough to forget him. I saw him in Saudi.
Well, what do you think about then how do you go about in the UFC if they're kind of like, they're a shoot version of what we do, especially way back in the Attitude Era and in the days before the Attitude Era, a serious product. How do they go about building stars?
Look, I'm a big UFC fan, as are you. I got friends that work there. I got all the respect in the world for what they built, and I'm troubled about what I see because, you know, they don't have their big names are gone, and for various reasons they can't predict what Conor McGregor's going to do. And that deal was not. I thought all along that was a big. They shot an angle.